there YouTube, it's Aisha, and this is going to be a video about how I keep track of my books. So I was thinking of what I wanted to talk to you guys about during VEDA and I thought I wanted to discuss where I buy books and how I keep track of them. Now, I'm a huge book collector, and because I collect a lot of books, I need to know which books I already own, which books I'm missing, and which authors are the ones that I really want to collect. Now, I own quite a few books. I own a little over 2,000 books. Right now in my room, I have about 15 or 1,600, not including the 212 books I got this year at BEA, or including the two and a half bags of books that I have to show you that I just hauled. So I'm sitting in front of my newest bookcase, as I showed you guys in yesterday's vlog. So what I do is I have a notebook. I have one of these just about every year until I finish it. So it takes usually about a year. And what I used to do before Goodreads, I used to keep track of all the books I read in here. So like for June, I would write down the month of June and all the books I read. And now this one is just for books that I want to get from our library. So it says waiting on Wednesday, book list, and books to repurchase to fulfill my library. And I actually have 3 other sheets of paper that are not in here right now. And it's my list of Brenda Jackson books, my list of Nora Roberts books, and one other list, singular books that I've read from authors that I want to collect. Since I could explain them, I didn't need to show them to you. So it's really simple. On the first page, I write down where I shop for books. So I have thrift books, Amazon, Book Outlet, and Paperback Swap. And then on this side, I haven't written them all in, which is why I can show it to you. I write the information to get into my account. So on the second page, this first page in this book, I have complete my series. And basically these are the YA books that I need to complete series that I already own. So the first author I have is Isabel Bird, and I write down all the titles that I'm missing from her series and which book they are in the series. So that I know, like, if I go hunting for them, this is book 1, this is book 2, whatever. Generally, I write only books that I've read in these books because I want to read them and own them. I don't just want to have a bunch of unread books on my shelf. So then I write down the condition of the book that I want. So I have Katie McGarry's Crash Into You non-hardcover, so paperback, trade paperback to match the rest of the books I have. Then I have Amy Carter's, the books that I'm missing from her collection, and like other authors. Now the tabs you see here are all big name authors whose collections books I have already collected, but I'm missing a few. So I'll show you one of the ones that I just bought a bunch of her books, and this is Christine Feehan. And I'm showing you this because I have other little notes here. So what I do is I write down all the books in her collection that I don't have. So all the titles. This one I didn't write down the numbers because numbers don't really matter so much. The R that's on the side here stands for the fact that I've read these books. The ones without R's are ones that I don't remember reading or I haven't read yet. And the one that has an H and a line through it means that when I went to the bookstore, I went looking for books, I found this. So I found Dark Secret and I crossed it out because I now have it. On the other side, I wrote down her other series, and I try to break them down into series as much as possible so I can keep track of which books go to which series. So right here I have the Mind Game series, and I have all the books written down, but when I went to the library book sale, they had all these books, so I crossed them out because I picked them up. And this way, when I go next time, if I see the same title, I know not to pick it up because I already own that title. So that's how I keep track of which books I need to purchase. Like, I've crossed out all of these because I've purchased all of them. And which books I've read. Now, I also have a tab here for 2014 books to purchase. And these are new titles that are coming out. This isn't the complete list. This is just a few of them that I know I specifically want to have. And that I've not pre-purchased already. And then on the back, I went on to the library toolkits. I'll leave a link down below. She was talking about sex and YA, and she listed a bunch of books that handled the subject of sex and YA really well, and talks about the difficult subject. And while I was at the library book sale today, I discovered The Mockingjays, which was one of the books she talked about. It was one of the first 4 books. So I talked it off. The next one was Speak. I already read Speak, so I wrote R, so I know I want to get the book. And these are books I'm going to check out and see if I can find them, and then, you know, read them. I have books that I'm missing from my collection. Because I'm so good at keeping track of my books, I know that I'm missing certain books, like Linda Howard, so that means an entire box of books is missing. So all my Linda Howard books right here are missing, all my Kitty McAllister, and then these books were missing, but I found them. So I'm keep track of books that I know I lent out, and that way I'm always on top of my books. One of my projects for 2014 is to do a complete and total inventory of all my books, which means scanning them all into Goodreads onto a physically owned shelf, and I've been doing that slowly but surely. So pretty much I only write down books that I'm missing from my collection, or if the author has a massive catalog like Nora Roberts does, I just write down which books I already own so I know not to get them. And this is how I keep track of all the books I'm looking for my collection, and books that I know that I want to get. I also have a section in here, I didn't show it to you, but of ARCs that I've read in ebook form that I want to get in physical form that I've written down. Mostly I try to keep by author. So I have like favorite authors all listed up top and favorite authors on the side. And then like my 2014 list to get. And then must buy authors. I have Sylvia Day in here, Maggie Shane, Brenda Jackson, Zuri Day, Zora Neale Hurston, her books that I don't have that I want to get. This way, and I carry this with me wherever I go, particularly if I know I'm going to be book shopping, or even if I don't think I'm going to be book shopping, I bring it with me because I know that there's always an opportunity to book shop. But also it will help me keep track of any books that I already have, so I don't end up repurchasing books. Especially with publishers reprinting books in new covers, I want to make sure I don't pick up titles I already own. So when I go into this, I already know that I own, you know, Almost Forever by Linda Howard, so I know not to pick it up. And like I said, the only books I list in here are the books that I don't own in the catalog. And that's just one way in which I keep track. Another way is, and until I complete it, it's not a trusty way, until I complete my inventory on Goodreads on that physically owned shelf, I can't trust that I don't own it. So for now, this list has been extremely essential and beneficial to me when I'm out on the street and can't get Wi-Fi, or whatever reason the internet is being slow. I look in this and I know, okay, well, I don't have that book and I need to get it, or I don't have that book, or that's not an author that I liked. And I do keep a list in the very back of authors never to buy. So why don't you guys share how you keep track of your book purchases and the books that you want from your wish list down in the comments down below, and we can keep this discussion going. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and goodbye!